सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनकम,
నమస్కారం,
खुशामदीद,
సలాం
सत श्री अकाल,
మీకు అందరికీ వందనము,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय जिनेन्द्रा।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे या अली मदद।
मौला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी मतलब बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बटजन हम आ गए हैं आपके महिमा के द्वारे मैं से फालतू बाबा
And of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बंद जाने।
Chuda Baljan, of course, right now आपको मालूम है अगर आप अभी सुन रहे हैं तो you listen to us probably on the radio Mirchi 1310 AM or 92.9 FM Baljan. And if you're listening to us in your homes, probably you're tuned into us through our pages. Actually, it's facebook.com/Radio Hotties, or you are listening to us internationally on our app, which is Radio Hotties, available free download on iOS and also on the Android platform. Badajan, so definitely welcome everybody out there. And uthate hi Badajan, how about we go and check out what's happening in the traffic, right? Very important because with the weather was that way all night actually. So let's see. The all total sustainable.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Badajan, रास्ते काल छोड़िएगा लेकिन आकाश दिखेगा, आकाश में दिखेगा. Some places are still raining in Cupertino, but a few more showers probably. It's going to be cloudy all the while today. In fact, all the way, the whole afternoon is going to be cloudy. Now, I also am hearing rumors about what's going to happen with the cloud, the calm right now, and then the storm is going to cover all the stuff. But we'll give you more information on that for sure. Like, if you're on the bridge, I should warn you about the high winds coming up on 580 eastbound. And also, this particular bridge thing is not only in the Ran Rafael Bridge area, it actually goes down further, but to the Golden Gate Bridge as well. They actually are advising high winds on 101 northbound and southbound on Golden Gate Bridge, so watch out for that. And there's a particular high winds advisory also on the bridge 80, which we all know and use quite often. Watch out for that for sure. And there's some flooding on T eastbound west of 7th Street in San Francisco, which is totally disrupting traffic over there, and some flooding happening on 280 southbound north of the Jesus Chavez also in San Francisco. All these flooding, in fact, even in Silver Avenue in San Francisco, there are like 4 or 5 different areas where the flooding has happened. Watch out, drive safely in those regions because you never know what's actually underneath, or what could be a rock or whatever is there, something, or could be an open drain. It's got to be watch out also, or a pothole which might totally put you off the thing. So there's a traffic hazard on South San Francisco as well, but actually it's not because of the flooding or of the rains or something else, just under there. But coming down south, there's a flood warning since last evening in San Jose area. So there's a flooding on 280 southbound, south of Saratoga Avenue in San Jose. All the lanes are affected in that region. And speaking of flooding, one more on 87 southbound under the West Taylor Street. There's a huge thing there. See traffic being disrupted, but watch out for that particular flood. Suddenly see a lake or something formed over there. Watch out for that. Well, since we are on 87, Guadalupe Parkway, San Jose, there's actually the intersection of Guadalupe Parkway and 280. There's flooding there, which has been reported. I don't see much of incidents there, but watch out for sure. Drive very carefully in those regions. And in general, Bandajan, stay safe because the flooding warnings are still on. Because we are expecting kind of a surge of rain and water in this particular time, I think later part of the afternoon. So we've got to be careful about that and stay safe, Parja, very important. Now, we already had the coronavirus situation going on. We'll talk more about that in our news update. But first of all, let's go see what's the headlines for today. Faltuni, what's headlines?
The Proud Boys leader was a prolific informer for law enforcement. There's a Reuters exclusive that's coming out with regard to that. There's also an explain, Baba, where regardless of whatever happens, right, Trump's post-presidency pension and office are safe for the rest of his life.
What? Really?
Yeah. And then a lot of junior bankers are feeling left behind in the COVID-era banking boom. What is that about? We'll bring you that information. There's also information with regard to the police who are raiding the Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny's office in Russia and other properties because there's a huge uproar in Russia. I don't know how many of you are keeping up with those protests, Bandajan, but right now he's being targeted, his wife is being targeted. Everywhere they're cracking down on him. has announced lifted the flight safety ban on Boeing 737 MAX jets, but in the meanwhile, our Boris Johnson is saying that they're shutting down their borders basically, and that's going to extend into March or even April. And Pete Buttigieg wins the Senate committee vote as Biden's transportation secretary. In other news from India, Bundajan, the farmers' unions have called off the March budget day to Parliament due to the violent clashes that happened. And in local Bay Area news, Bundajan, San Francisco Board of Education basically has voted to rename 44 schools, to remove the names of any person who has any racism connection, which includes Abraham Lincoln, which includes George Washington. They're going to rename all these schools. They're going to remove those names. Heavy rain and wind are causing myriad problems on Bay Area roadways. An atmospheric river storm wreaks havoc in the Bay Area. We'll bring you more details about that. The COVID-19 surge is receding in Alameda County as vaccinations continue. And Walnut Creek restaurants are braving the storm to reopen outdoor dining. So you want to catch up on all of this, Banajan, you can go to mediamahima.com or stay tuned right here.
And of course, right now it's time for us to go take a look at the Gana Kira for you guys, Aj, and we'll come to more news or the news in detail, along with some updates of what's happening with coronavirus Banajan in Santa Clara County and also Alameda County. Why? We'll give an update of what's happening across the state, Banajan. And this song for you guys from the movie Hamraz, Mahendra Kapoor's beautiful voice. Sahil Ludhiani's wonderful lyrics, Banajan, music direction by Ravi. This is a nice song, which actually is a wonderful lesson you can take also from this. Here you go.
छुपा के जियो न सका के जियो, न मुँह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो। गमों का दौर भी आए तो मुस्कुरा जियो, न मुँह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो, न मुँह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो।
And that's the beauty about all the poets, Banajan. आसानी से जो पूरा यूनिवर्स का मैसेज है एक लाइन या पंक्ति में फटाक से बोल देते हैं. And that's what we got to understand and follow, but that's what I love about these kind of lyrics and all. So enjoy the song, we'll be back.
घटा में छुप के सितारे फना नहीं होते, घटा में छुप के तारे फना नहीं होते, अंधेरी रात के अंधेरी रात के दिल में दिए जला के जियो।
अब बोल रहे हैं, come on, let's keep the hope high, Bandhujan, and yes, we will conquer coronavirus. तो क्या ये weather क्या when we have weathered the coronavirus, what is the weather all about? So don't worry about it. But just stay safe, and if at all you want to buy one of those floaters and everything, which you want to make sure you can wade across the, the floods, I'll probably do it. But don't worry about that. This too shall pass is my message for everybody out there. But right now, a quick look at the news in detail. And if at all you're wondering, oh my god, I missed out something which Father shared right now. What about that? You can go and listen to our video all over again on demand on Facebook, Bundajan. Facebook.com/Radio Hotties over there. And we also on YouTube. You can go check it out on YouTube as well. And something about welcome Vishadji. Up to early morning you actually say hello to us. Very good. Good morning to you too.
Good morning.
आपने कुछ बोला है Facebook पे, उसके बारे में शेयर करेंगे लेकिन थोड़ी देर के बाद, because first of all I want to go check out what's happening with the news, Buddha Jam. And news updates for you guys coming up right now.
Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin is preparing to lead the second Senate trial of Donald Trump with two clear arguments in mind. Trump was responsible for the attack on the Capitol on Jan 6th, and the Constitution allows Congress to hold the former president accountable through impeachment. Raskin, a former constitutional law professor, is preparing to make that case to a Senate where 45 of 50 Republicans voted Tuesday to reject the second part of his argument. Democrats have always faced an uphill battle to persuade the Senate to convict Trump and to move on to a vote to bar him from federal office, but Raskin says he should try anyway. More on that, we'll bring you right here on Good Morning Babe and the Jam. In his first phone call with with Russian Premier Vladimir Putin since taking office, President Biden has pressed his Russian counterpart on the detention of leading Kremlin critic, the mass arrest of protesters, and Russia's suspected involvement in a massive cyber breach in the United States. Still, the two leaders did agree to extend US-Russia arms control deal New START, which is set to expire next Friday. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Tuesday that Biden's intention was to make clear that the United States will act firmly in defense of our national interests in response to maligning actions by Russia. You can get more information about that. This is one of the hacks that we're talking about is that huge SolarWinds hack, right? And everybody is suspecting that Russia had a big hand in it. So we'll get you more details right here on Good Morning Bay.
You know, we should actually do a segment totally on just controversies, all these things.
Yeah.
And I think, Banjan, you know what? I'm thinking of it. I'll go start with it. I will not say, Banjan, you know me, I'll do it. Paldani, but quick look at what's happening with our coronavirus. So are you going to talk about that or are you going to talk about something else right now?
I will come to the coronavirus, but there's another big national news that broke, Alto Baba. 2 people were found dead at a medical building following an apparent hostage situation late last night in Austin, Texas, according to police and local news reports. In a briefing, an Austin Police Department spokesman said officers responded to a disturbance call late Tuesday afternoon and found a barricaded subject inside. Police would not detail how many people were taken hostage and whether anybody has been released earlier. Using a robot fitted with a camera, they saw one victim and sent a SWAT team to enter the building. A total of 2 people found deceased. It's still a developing story, I guess, and we could get they're not able to determine whether both of the deceased were the hostages who were taken. You can get more information on that also right here on Good Morning Bay. It's actually an NPR developing story, Banajam. In terms of, Alto asked you about the coronavirus. Let's tell you, more than 100 million people have been infected with coronavirus worldwide, and more than 2 million have died as of today. Experts say those reported figures are probably much higher in reality. The UK just crossed the threshold of 100,000 deaths and leads the world in the number of deaths proportionate to their population. In the United States, January has already been the deadliest coronavirus month yet, with more than 79,000 reported deaths. Several major U.S. school districts have shelved plans to return to in-person classes amid teacher pushback and rising case numbers. However, virtual learning has been a challenge for families, teachers, and students, and one of the largest districts in the United States is trying to speed up a return to in-person learning after a rise in student suicides.
Well, but let me tell you one thing. California, it's really, I don't know, it makes a big mark here because you said 79,000
reported deaths.
Reported deaths?
Yeah.
No, California alone has 38,000 reported deaths.
Wow, that's half of it almost.
Pretty much half of it. It's disturbing. And of course, California, if you look at the rate of increase of these particular cases, has kind of come down. And it's come down to 0.5%, but still has 17,000 new cases coming up every day. I'm giving you a daily average every day, but this is a live update I'm getting you from the dashboard of the state actually. Alameda County we talked about. Well, actually, good news is the fact that it has, even the rate of increase has kind of come down. They're still finding around 432 people who are positive for the past 2 days. Unfortunately, lost around 2 people for the last 2 days for them. And Santa Clara County, again, let me remind everybody out there, we still are in the purple tier. Purple tier means you have to be sheltered in as much as possible, stay safe, right? Businesses are allowed to open because of the politics of economics and everything, Balajan. So we'll talk about that anyways. But the death toll in Santa Clara County has gone up by 2.4%, Balajan. 30 new deaths have actually cropped up for the past 2 days. And 500 new cases have come out. The rate of increase definitely has dropped down to 0.6. But then again, it's always been that kind of fluctuation, 0.6 to 1 to 2 and sometimes 3 and 4. We've got to make sure we can bring it down as much as possible by actually following all the safety protocols. That's my request for everybody out there.
Well, Alto Baba, one of the things that we use as PPE is hand sanitizers, right?
Yeah.
And there's a breaking news item that just hit. It is about the FDA who have placed an import alert on hand sanitizers from Mexico after discovering dangerous levels of toxic ingredients.
My God.
So please check your hand sanitizers to make sure that they're not manufactured in Mexico, because more than half of the hand sanitizers tested by the FDA apparently contain toxic ingredients like methanol. Methanol is toxic when absorbed through the skin and deadly when ingested. Food and Drug Administration has placed an import alert on alcohol-based hand sanitizers imported from Mexico after testing revealed that more than half of these products contained methanol and 1 propanol. So it's the agency's first cut import restriction on an entire category of drugs. So please be careful. Shipments that violate the FDA's rules may altogether be hid, the agency has said. But this is the first time, they're saying that all the hand sanitizers need to be scrutinized. Please make sure that it is not made in Mexico. That is a breaking news update that we just got, Pandajan. And let's go into politics a little bit. The Democrats are hoping to bust up a thorny Senate budget process to move forward with the COVID-19 relief bill, $0.9 trillion bill, as early as next week. With the new Senate makeup, a budget resolution with Democratic priorities could pass in the chamber with little or no GOP support. President Biden announced more coronavirus response measures yesterday, including the purchase of 200 million more vaccine doses and the promise of increased distribution to states soon. However, Biden's executive action temporarily halting deportations has met a roadblock. A federal judge in Texas blocked it, issuing a stark reminder that the Biden administration's priorities may face real challenges from conservative courts across the country. Now remember, this is what Mitch McConnell and the Trump administration did over the last 4 years. Packed the court system with conservative justices. That's all they did in the last 4 years, if you actually look at it. He blocked everything that the Democrats proposed, and he made sure that they packed the courts with conservative justices. So that may pose a problem for Biden's priorities, is what people are saying. In the Capitol riots, members of Congress were left stunned during a briefing from law enforcement about its level of preparation ahead of the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Several lawmakers noted that lack of planning came despite ample evidence before the fact that violence and security threats were a very real possibility. Former Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy told the same House panel that the National Guard only planned to deal with traffic that day, with no contingency in place if tensions escalated. The security briefings unfolded as U.S. Capitol police officers are debating whether to hold a no-confidence vote targeting department leaders who were working on the day of the insurrection. So far, at least 150 people have been charged by the Justice Department in connection with the January 6th events. I told you there's a Reuters exclusive. We'll share this link on Media Mahima. It's about the Proud Boys leader, Enrique Tarrio, who had a past as an informer for federal and local law enforcement, repeatedly working undercover for investigators after he was arrested in 2012. In other news, Pandajan, excuse me. Junior bankers, as top investment bankers orchestrated major deals through Zoom during the coronavirus pandemic, junior staffers are saying that they were often sitting home, bored, alone, and discouraged by an industry that has struggled to retain fresh talent. In interviews, several analysts and associates explained what it has been like to work remotely rather than shadow mentors by day and build Excel models by night at the office. So there's another thing that's brewing also. The people who are working from home are not really enjoying it as well. Like earlier we talked about schools and students who are, the rate of student suicides is going up because mental health and behavioral health is at risk for a lot of young people as well, Panajal. Some news from India is that the BJP actually is accusing Rahul Gandhi of instigating the farmers and the tractor rally violence, while Congress is saying sack Amit Shah. Politics took center stage on Wednesday as the BJP and the Congress charges over the unprecedented violence on Republic Day during the tractor rally by the protesting farmers. A section of protesting farmers had entered the Red Fort on Tuesday and hoisted flags from some domes of the iconic monument in the national capital. The protesters breached police barricades at several points and also clashed with the police. Now, the other news that has come out from India is the fact that the farmers have actually called off their their march that's going to be happening. At least 2 farm unions have actually withdrawn from this protest, and the farmers are actually saying that they are calling off their march to Parliament on Budget Day following what happened at the Republic Day parade that was. They in fact went ahead and tens of thousands of farmers who have been camped on the outskirts of New Delhi for 2 months to protest against reforms of the agriculture sector, which they say may benefit big private buyers at the expense of growers, are now reconsidering their march. On Tuesday, a protest parade that caused this this whole big violence and chaos when some farmers diverged from agreed routes and broke through barricades has caused them to rethink their strategy. Samyukt Kisan Morcha, the group of farm unions organizing the protest, condemned the violence, which saw protesters, some carrying ceremonial swords, storm into the historic Red Fort complex as police used tear gas and batons to constrain them.
Sometimes I feel like, it's happened before in our industry, but when something happens worldwide, we should be responsible. Somebody else will copy whatever happened.
Yeah.
It reminds me so much of what happened on 6th of...
Here, right? Yeah, exactly.
Disturbing, very disturbing.
Well, the Samyukt Kisan Morcha said on Wednesday that they will hold rally and a hunger strike on Saturday, but they are not going to plan any events on Monday when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is due to present the annual budget. They even said that our parliament has been postponed, and our movement will still go on. And that's the whole idea, right? To make sure that there's peaceful protests. For cricket lovers out there, Dada Saurav Ganguly, right, has again some sad news, or time to pray for him because he has been hospitalized again with discomfort in the chest. Is going to undergo another stenting procedure apparently.
Wow, imagine he would be in peak condition, right?
Yeah. And of course, huge relief for spouses of H-1B workers. Biden nixes Trump's plan to kill H-4 work permits. So, looks like your work permits will get renewed and you can still continue to work right here on your H-4 visa, the H-4 EADs, right here in the United States. More on all this you will actually get on MediaMahima.com. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Babe and the Jam. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the PAM show. Don't forget to join us then. Have yourselves a safe, sheltered in, warm, terrific Tuesday.
No, wonderful Wednesday,
Wonderful
Fadhuri. Oh
Wednesday.
my God.
I'm losing track of time.
You got audition. You lost a day, Fadhuri.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a nice song for you guys. Enjoy the song and we will see you in the evening live at 5.
के जियो ना मुंह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो ये जिंदगी किसी मंजिल पे रुक नहीं सकती ये जिंदगी किसी मंजिल पे रुक नहीं सकती हर एक मकाम से से आगे कदम बढ़ा के जियो, ना मुंह छुपा के
Batajan,
जियो।
this is your darling pyari ki dilari faltu rani. I hope you're enjoying